Hey guys, hello and welcome. I hope you're all doing very well, especially with all the current events going on, especially between Russia and Ukraine. It's just really rough, and sorry if any of you guys have any personal connection with that. That's really, there really are no words. Um, if you're watching this video in the future, you may or may not know what I'm talking about. I don't know. But yeah, I actually filmed a couple other videos earlier, but they had a bit more of a pessimistic tone. They were regarding logging in a forest nearby my house, and I just kind of figured didn't want to bring more of a negative tone into a negative atmosphere. So I wanted to get back into more positive videos. I might post that one later though. Now, without talking anymore, actually no, I lie. I am gonna keep talking. I haven't been as consistent on this channel as I would like to be. I will try to be here more often. No promises. I just actually got a diploma. So that's really exciting, but I'm dealing with a lot of graduation stuff and I plan on continuing school, so that's a lot to deal with, so I might not be posting very frequently, so sorry about that. But I think you guys are all here for the plants. This here is the velvet cardboard Anthurium, also known as Antherium Clarinervium. It's pretty similar to the Anthurium crystallinum, only it's not quite as large and the leaves aren't as pointy at the edges, and there's a couple other small morphological differences. I'm not going to get too much into pollination of this guy because I think that's not very beginner friendly, and I want this video to definitely be more beginner friendly. But this plant does produce berries in a big spadix type inflorescence. And that's a really interesting thing. Basically, when they start oozing and they create this like resin, you can start transferring pollen from one plant to another, blah blah blah. I'll get into that maybe in another video. So this is an aroid. It's in the Araceae family. It's native to Chiapas, which is a state in southern Mexico that borders Guatemala, and I believe it also borders Oaxaca and maybe Guerrero. Gotta work on my southern Mexico geography. It's a submountainous tropical plant. It's more of a bushing plant. It's not really one that climbs. It produces mounds. It does tend to get a little bit like woody at the base. You'll notice that here. Another thing I really want to say is this plant is a lot hardier than it suggests, being an anthurium. I know a lot of people have issues with Anthurium veitchii. Some people have issues with Anthurium forgetii and just kind of the more humidity hogging ones. This one's definitely not as much of a humidity hog. Another thing I want to say is it has a little bit of an unexpected texture. These leaves are super cool. They're like suede. I don't know if you guys have ever had like suede shoes. That's very similar texture to this plant. And the leaves are a lot more fleshy than I thought that they would be. They have this really nice, almost kind of red start of the petiole. They emerge from the base, and the new leaves are just really adorable. They create like these little hearts, which is so cute. You can get different forms that have different types of veins. This one here is just the standard kind of whitish silvery one. I'm going to be completely 500 billion% honest. This plant isn't as much of a showstopper as I thought it was looking at photos from Instagram, but it's definitely beautiful in its own right. Personal opinion here. A lot of those photos I've noticed have a lot more contrast than what this plant has in real life. Mature height is, I've seen really big ones where they can be almost 3 feet tall, but 1.5 feet seems to be a lot more typical, pretty similar spread. They definitely like it to be a little bit on the cool side as far as anthuriums go. This plant likes to be a little bit cooler than Anthurium warocquinum, so kind of like house temperatures, even a little bit cooler, is perfect for this plant. Not a very big humidity hog. They produce lots of pups. You see what I mean here? They're very easy to propagate that way. And another thing to notice is the roots are almost like epiphytic. What I mean by that, well, it is a hemiepiphyte, but they remind me a lot of like Phalaenopsis orchids, in that the roots are kind of very fleshy, and they're kind of white when they need water, and then they're kind of green when they're well watered, and they're a little bit fuzzy too. This plant likes a really well aerated soil mixture. Definitely the kind of plant that you want a lot of pumice or vermiculite or even leca. to grow it in. It's definitely the type of plant that benefits from just having really good aeration on the roots. This is a plant that I've noticed personally doesn't like a lot of direct sunlight. If you put this one in too much sunlight, it'll go a little bit paler on you, and it'll get a little sun bleached. I actually have a little bit of sun bleach here on one of the juvenile leaves. I'm not sure if that shows. Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, this plant is pretty fast growing, I would say, personally. It's almost doubled in size for me. This is my second one that I've had. The other one's downstairs, and that one's doing well too. I just kind of spur of the moment didn't want to bring it upstairs though. Probably not a good idea. If you really want to encourage these guys to bloom, give them a good liquid feed fertilizer high in phosphorus. They're more of a foliage plant though, definitely. The berries are not edible. Don't recommend eating them. They're actually quite toxic from what I've heard, but I'm not 100% sure. Definitely, if you don't know, I wouldn't play around with it. You can actually get like wide forms of this plant where they have like this little, like, I want to call it like a crotch at the very top of the leaf. You can get ones that are a little bit more separated. You can get ones with almost like a little bit more of a brownish purple tint on the back when the new leaves come in, which is nice. This is a lot smaller than most other anthuriums. It's a lot more compact. It's a little bit more compact than Anthurium crystallinum. If you have like an IKEA shelf or something like that with all your plants on, and you really like to conserve space and you like a lot of variety, then I very, very, very highly recommend getting this one over the crystallinum. The crystallinum is just a little bit floppier, but the crystallinum does have really nice dark forms. And you know what? I'm actually noticing my camera's kind of bouncing back and forth, so I might not even post this. I'm not even sure if the audio is gonna match my lips, but we'll see. I hope you guys are doing really well. I really have been a little bit missing in action in this channel kind of recently, and I want to get more into it because I really appreciate you guys. I really want to spread my love of plants, and I really want to just share all the wonderful things that I've been finding along the way. And yeah, so this here is Antherium Clarinervium, velvet cardboard plant. Although I think the name is a little bit misleading in that it's a lot more like suede in texture. It's a lot fleshier in texture than you would think. I water this one every Monday and Thursday. I have like a little bit of a schedule. You'll see that actually some of the roots, and I have a pretty good example of that right here. I don't know if it'll show on camera. They get kind of wrinkly. That's a sign that you need watering. It doesn't like to sit in water, this plant. I wait for this to get very, very light. I would say even like 75% of the soil media is dry before I water again. It'll go yellow on you around the edges at the first signs of having too much water. Too little water, generally they get a little bit floppier. They're kind of not as dramatic as an Anthurium forgetii in that they flop when they don't have a lot of water, but they will tell you. This plant likes to be a little bit root bound. It doesn't like having too much space, but it likes good aeration, which is kind of the counterintuitive thing. And yeah, this video was kind of all over the place, so just really thank you. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart if you stuck through the whole thing. I'm a little bit frazzled today. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know what other videos you'd like me to make. I have a few on the way. Yeah, stay blessed. Be safe out there. This world's very, very crazy right now, to say the least. And yeah, just God bless us all. Yeah, stay safe.